How do I get rid of this?
View. Can I go live?
Yep.
On here too?
It's already. Hey, good evening, everyone. Woo! Took us a little bit to get ready for this. The whole new setup is going on right here. So good evening. It's good to see you all. I'm going to get it right into this. So what I'd like for you to do, first of all, is to, this is what I learned. This is what I learned. I learned that people have been trying to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I want to help you subscribe to my YouTube channel. What must you do? Good evening. The first thing you need to do to subscribe to my YouTube channel is you need a Gmail account. So what I'm encouraging you to do to subscribe to the YouTube channel is to get a Gmail account if you don't already have one. It's really easy to do that. Only take about 60 seconds to do it. You can go to google.com and go ahead and pull up the form to fill out. It'll take you through the process, and you can like my YouTube page. You can subscribe and ring the bell so you'll always be notified. Now, let me tell you why this is very important for my YouTubers out there. I am just about, 37, 38 or so subscribers away, and then I can go live from YouTube anywhere in the world right from my phone. I won't need a desktop or a laptop or any of that. I'll be able to do it right from my phone, and I can reach out to you. I've got a lot of things to say that I don't always have time to say. So that's why I'm asking you to subscribe to YouTube, because I'll be keeping most of my information on YouTube and not Facebook. Is that all right with you? I hope so. Hope that's okay with you. Now, there's a lot we need to learn tonight. It's a beautiful night here in Omaha, Nebraska, but I want to get right into this. So go ahead and subscribe to YouTube and let's talk. Now, here's my subject for tonight. Very important subject. You can share this with your people, talk to. And now, so what I want to do right now, as people are coming on, because you're not used to having me on Monday night, you're checking in. This is what I want to make sure you understand. My Monday moments are different from most of what I've ever shared. I'll only be on tonight for about 15 or 20 minutes, if that long, just talking to you through a couple of principles. Now, these are going to be universal principles. Say it with me. They're going to be universal principles, right? These are going to be principles in order for you to just really shape your life and shape your future and decide what your life is going to be like. I'm probably not going to be talking a lot about what's going on outside of you, outside of your frame, outside of your head, outside of your soul, outside of your spirit. I'm going to be talking mostly from what's inside you, inside your soul, inside your frame, what you really have control over. You don't really have control over anything else outside of you. You really only have control of yourself. And by the way, I hope you like my new studio. My wife and my daughter put this together for me. It's such a blessing, and I decided I'm going to use it tonight. And so it took us some running around to get ready for it, but let's go. Now, tonight, what I want to talk to you about for a few minutes is simply this. You really don't have to relive your past. Your past doesn't have to become your future. There is a way to get past your past. There is a way to get past some things that have either happened to you, happened for you, happened against you, right? So your past doesn't have to reoccur. You don't have to be stuck in replay mode in your life. And I'm here to make sure you don't get stuck in replay mode, right? So here it is. I want to give you 6 principles tonight to get past your past. It doesn't have to replay. Your past doesn't have to replay, and I don't want it to replay. It doesn't make any sense for your past to keep replaying in your life. So here are the 6 principles. I want you to learn how to objectify your past. Objectify your past. Release yourself from your past, number 2. Reflect on your past, that's number 3. 4 is study your past. 5 is reframe your past. And 6 is reuse it. Okay, are you with me? So first of all, you've got to learn how to objectify your past. Number two, you've got to learn how to release yourself from your past. And now, number three, you must reflect on it. Number four, study it. Number five, reframe it. Number six, use it. So first, number one, what did I say? Objectify your past. Here's the question I want you to ask yourself. What if it wasn't me that it happened to? What if I didn't do it? What if that's not me in the scenario? What I'm asking you is to pull yourself away from what happened. Look at it like a movie. Don't make yourself the actor in this movie, right? Don't make yourself the actor in this movie. Allow yourself let the actor be someone else. Just ask yourself, what if this really happened to someone else and not me? Now, that's really silly to most people, but let me tell you the power in that. If you can take yourself out of the frame, if you can take yourself out of the circumstance, if you can take yourself out of what happened, you can release something. You can release some guilt. You can release some regret. You can release all these other types of feelings that you might have because it's you. Hurt. I mean, you can get stuck in a lot of emotional whirlwinds, but if you can objectify it, objective is different from subjective. Subjective says, oh, you hurt me, right? You hurt me. That's subjective. Objective is you hurt somebody. It's just somebody. It's not me. It's somebody else. Now, this is not a trick you play on your mind. It's really a soulish thing. It's how you decide to look at it. Just say it with me. It really wasn't me. It really wasn't me. It was someone else. That happened to someone else. Another character, another being, another person, another whatever. It's not me. If you can learn how to objectify, it's just an object. It's not personal. Now you have a bird's eye perspective of something and you're not really in it. You're on the outside of it. So if you don't want your past to keep repeating, see, most people don't know what to do right now in an economic situation, in a scary moment, in something else that's happening in their life, but you can train yourself to allow your past not to keep repeating itself in your life. So number one, I said, objectify it. Y'all still here? Good. It really wasn't you. It was someone else, right? This will allow you to do number two, which is really important. What's that? Release yourself from it. See, listen to me now and write this down. If you have regret, remorse, shame, offense, hurt, those emotionally tie you to the incident. This is going to be so good. They tie you to the incident. But if you can just untie yourself from the incident, now you can begin to pick that incident apart. You can pick apart who hurt you or whatever happened, and now you can release yourself from it. As soon as you don't see yourself in it, you can say, it wasn't me. So here's the question. The question with objectify it was, what if it wasn't me? But the question is, release yourself from it is, what if it wasn't me? You know, what if what if this really wasn't me? And now, what if I could be free from it? What if I could be free from what happened? What if I had no remorse? What if I had no feeling? I had no emotions tied to it. What if I could do that? So now, if you can release yourself from it, now you can get into a process of your past never repeating itself again in your life. This is really amazing. So what's number one? Objectify it. Number two, release yourself from it. Here's what you need to know about releasing yourself from it. No one else can release you from it. Even the person that did something to you can't release you from it. Being released from it has to be your decision. It can't be someone else's. So why would you keep yourself in your own prison when you are the only ones that have the key? You're the only one that has the key to this prison cell. So go ahead and release yourself from it. Go ahead and say it. I'm just going to release myself from it. I'm going to release myself from it. Now, here's number three. Reflect on it. Reflect on it. Now, watch this now. You've objectified it, so it's not you. You've released yourself from it because you have no regret and no hurt. Now you can literally reflect on it. You can play the movie back in your head and not conjure up these emotions, not conjure up this bad feeling you have about it. Now you don't have to deal with remorse. You don't have to deal with hurt. Here's the difference between getting over losing someone 50 years ago and getting over it in a year, and 50 years ago and you're still dealing with it today. Here's the difference. You have to objectify, release yourself, and now you must reflect. Here is the key. When you're able to now go back and ask the question in reflection, which is, what exactly happened here? Your emotions clouds the truth about a lot of things. I know it does for me. It clouds the truth. If I can't objectify and I'm still in it, it happened when I was 10, but I'm 60, but I'm still in it. I still feel it. I still have the emotions, the hurt, the regret of something stupid I did. Okay, right? But now I can reflect on it because I don't have that. In my reflection, I'm asking the question, what exactly happened? Now I can get above it, go through, I can replay what happened. I can replay when I met the person. I can replay when I made this financial decision. I can replay when something has happened to me. I can replay it in my mind and not feel like it's me. I release myself. I don't need anybody to pray for me. I don't need to hear from a preacher. I don't need to hear from a counselor. I don't need to hear from a psychiatrist, a psychologist, a sociologist. I just release myself, and now I'm playing it back in my head. I can remember the moment I had the idea. I can remember the moment I met the person. I can remember the moment now that I'm reflecting. How many of you have done this? I can remember the moment now that I'm reflecting when my instinct said, I don't know. I don't know if this is a good idea. I'm not sure I do that. I'm not sure I start a relationship with this person. I don't think this is the right move for me. I want to think about it. Now that I'm reflecting, now that I'm going back, I can now look at the situation for what it could be in my life. I'm reflecting it. It's really important in sports. When I studied sports, I can remember now when it was said to me by the coach, I want you to run this play over and over and over and over. Then after we played, we would watch film. We would watch the film over and over and over. We replayed it so that the next time I was in that situation, I had the history, even if it was a bad play. So even if it's a bad play, you still need to reflect. Even if it went wrong, you still need to reflect. If it was a bad class you took in college, now you reflect so that you can train your children. You can give advice to others. I'm taking a long time on reflecting. Did that make sense? You go back, you replay it in your head, you rethink it. You're like, okay, that's when it happened. That's what happened. I should have trusted my instincts. I should have trusted the advice I had. So that's number 3. We're halfway there. Objectify it, release yourself from it, reflect on it. Number 4 is study it. Studying it is different from just reflecting on it. Studying asks the question, what can I learn from this situation? What can I learn? What are we talking about tonight? Your past doesn't have to be stuck on replay. You don't have to live in this cyclical life that things go around and around and around in your life. And every 3 years you get here. Every 5 years you get here. Every 10 years you're back in the same place. With this, it may be a different girl. It may be a different dress, but it's the same girl. It may be a different suit, but it's the same guy. It may be a different deal, but it's the same whacked up deal. It's the same thing you're dealing with because we're allowing our past to be stuck on replay. And we have to deal with that. So now we study it. What can I learn from this? Now that you're outside of it, now that it wasn't you it happened to, somebody slapped you as a child. Now you can say, I don't feel the pain from it, but I want to analyze what happened, right? I can go back, I can analyze what happened, and now I can figure out why I was slapped. I can also figure out what I should have done when I was slapped. But if I never study it, I will never. Everybody out there has a God. They call it a God. They have a name for it. They have a religion. They have a whatever. But there's only one. There's only one creator that created everything. He is God, period, point blank. Can't argue with it, right? But I want to tell you the way he works. He believes you should be continually learning. You should be continually learning your entire life. I have some friends that are writing a great book on finances. They're getting ready to help lots of people get free on their finances. They're getting free on their finances, but they had to look back. They had to get rid of pain they had to get rid of the pain of bankruptcy, almost close to bankruptcy, poor lifestyle growing up. They had to get past that pain by objectifying, saying, wow, that little girl was really poor when she was little. Wow, that little guy grew up in the projects. Then they had to take themselves out of that place, learn from that place, and now they've studied it. Now that they've studied it, they can teach you. See, your real money is in the things that happen to you. But you've got your real power, your real friends, your real inspiration. The power in your life is going to happen by the things that the Creator allowed to happen in your life. But he wants you to learn from it all. You've got to learn. You've got to learn. Are we together? Okay. So now you study it. Here's number 5. This is so good. Now that you've studied it, you've studied this character in a film and something happened to them and it could have been really bad. It could have been really, 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 really bad. It could have been really bad to them. Now, I'm not talking about me. There is a boy that grew up on Railroad Street in Monticello, Mississippi. On the backside, his parents died as a young age. It affected him, and everybody said he would die broke. Everybody said he would die, whatever. But I had to learn how to take myself out of that scenario. That guy had it tough, but I don't know about him. That has nothing to do with me. What happened to him has nothing to do with me because I've learned this process. And once you learn this process, you're going to be able to do some amazing things. This is just the way it works. So you reframe it. What does reframe it mean? Ask this question. How was this beneficial to me? To that person that they went through that, how was what they went through beneficial? In other words, what should be their perspective? You can choose how you see horrible things. The choice has been given to you how you see what happened. Yes, I said it. You have the choice to choose not what happened, but you can choose how you see what happened. You can paint your own picture outside of it on how you see it. And it's the difference between everything. One of my favorite stories, the McCann brothers went to India, and the time they went, it was very poor, people walking around in squalor, in dirt, they had no shoes. One McCann brother said, y'all know what he said, one McCann brother said, Tom McCann brother said, boy, this is so horrible. People are walking around without shoes. This is nasty. I want to go back to the hotel. The other brother stayed there and said this. He said, wow, this is a great idea. All these people need cheap shoes. It was his perspective on what happened. So he developed and created the flip-flop. Now the flip-flop was a cheap shoe. For a few pennies, everybody in India could have a flip-flop. Then he sold them all over the world. Now everybody's wearing flip-flops in some sort of case. He had the patent on flip-flops. How will you decide to see what happened? What you went through, what somebody said, who left you, bankruptcy, divorce, it don't matter what it is. No one can tell you how to see it, and you can't blame anybody for how you see it. I can't blame you for how I see what happened to me. That's only in my power. That is only my decision. No one else can decide that for me. Come on, so reframe it, reshape it. How was this beneficial? If this was Joe that went through it and not Martin, how would Joe use it to build his business? If Amy went through something in her relationship with her husband And I can learn from what happened to Amy. That wasn't me, by the way. It was Amy. So now what can I do? How can I reshape it? What's my perspective? People will say, they did that to you. They should pay for what they did to you. You should walk away from them. Okay, that's fine. But if I had a different attitude, how could I shape this and mold this? You get what I'm saying? I had a real good friend. And it was like, and she's my wife. And we got to this place, it was like, we got 7 years in this marriage. What do we do? What do we do? Is it the right thing to stay together? And she said something amazing. She said, you've spent 7 years on me and I've spent 7 years on you. Why would we trade that in? Why don't we keep building? And I'm like, what a perspective. A perspective of quitting because something bad could happen, or the perspective of we've already dug a foundation. Now let's get out of the dirt and build a building. It's all about perspective. It's all about how you see it. And I'm going to tell you something right now. If you're letting other people tell you how to see it, you are really under their control. You are under the control of the people who can tell you how to see it. Are you listening to this brother at all? My name is Martin, and I came to help you. If I can show you in media, on social media, on TV, in magazines, what your perspective is, I can control everything about you. I can control, if I can get inside your perspective and show you how to see it, then I can tell you where to live. I can tell you how much money to make. I can tell you who to marry. I can tell you what kind of water to drink. I can tell you who to vote for. You don't even have to think if I can tell you how to think. But if you don't want your past to be stuck on replay, you've got to do these things. Say, reframe it, reshape it, have your own perspective, have your own persuasion, have your own thought process around your life. Empower yourself by taking your own personal dominion. Take your own personal dominion. And this is how you live your life. And now the last one. How long have I been on here? Lord have mercy. About 26 minutes. Let's finish this up. Okay. Now you got to use it. Now you have to use it. Now you have to use it. What do you mean? Here's the question for how do you use it? How can I put my experience to work for me? How can I put my experience to work for me? How can I use it? No. Nope. I'm going to get you out of this way of thinking that you usually think, how can I use what I've learned for someone else and then they will pay me? Most people think, how can I use my experience? That's what your resume is. I want you to see your resume differently from now on. Your resume is a list of everything you've learned, every job you've been to, everything you've learned on those jobs, good and bad experiences. And it's a list so you give to a prospective employer so that they can pay you more because of what you've learned. So you're using your hard knocks, you're using your life experiences, you're using everything you went through, your education, which is more than your student loans for sitting in a class, what you've really learned in life. Now you're going to use that to help someone else. Now I want you to learn how to use it for yourself. There is nobody more important in the world than you. I'm sorry. There is no one more important in the world than you. You can't learn for someone else. You can't go through something for someone else. You can't experience something for someone else. All you got is your own experience. That's all you have. And that's all you need. Here's your question you go to bed with tonight. Everything I've learned, look at me. Everything I've learned, everything Martin has learned, everything he has learned, how can he use it for himself? How do I put this to use? How do I use this next time I'm in the same situation? Next time I'm in this particular area of my life, I'm dealing with another relationship. The reason you keep attracting the same type of people is because you haven't gone through this process. Once you go through this process, you can free yourself. And the next time you see a person like the person you were attracted to, you can say, oh no, I'm not doing that. I've learned from this. What did I do? I objectified it. I released myself from the last one. I deserve better than this, right? I've reflected on it. I've studied it. I've reframed it. And now I'm going to use it for myself, right? That's what I wanted to talk to you about tonight. So I'm getting out of here. Thank you for joining with me. I'm about 10 minutes over where I wanted to be. I hope this is okay. I am not saving this on Facebook. If you want to see this again, you can go to my YouTube page, Dr. Martin Williams, subscribe to that page. And now, lastly, if you've been trying to subscribe and you can't figure out why you can't subscribe because you don't have a Google account. So you need to just go ahead, go to Google, get a Google account, and then you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'm going to be talking to you every Monday night from someplace in the world, just like this, about life. Because I think no matter what's going on outside of you, there should be something powerful going on inside of you. All right? We'll see you later.